Welcome to Middle Center, our adaptation of Middle Ground, where we bring together two different groups of people to encourage understanding. Today, we've gathered young people to discuss how inclusive and diverse the workforce in South Africa is. With each question asked, we'll ask people who agree with the prompt to raise their hands and speak their minds, before inviting the disagreeers to discuss. Middle Center is where we get to understand the other side. Let's talk. Visible diversity and inclusion is very important to me at work.
Can we all agree? So my name is Chara. Most people call me Joe or Jojo. I'm 25 years old, and what do I do? I'm an artist, graphic designer, and photographer. Okay, for me personally, as like a creative, anything in the art field or anything in like design, I definitely think that like diversity is important, not only in terms of like gender or race or something, but also just in terms of your personality, your background, where you come from, stuff like that. It also plays into like different ways that you could like mold with different people and different kinds of understanding, and that because like it's not only diversity in terms of like exterior diversity, it's also like background stuff like that people won't genuinely know about. Like for example, with me, like I come from a bipolar background, so like being in a work environment where people understand that or they don't, and then they learn about you, and that it helps other people grow and it helps you grow. So yeah,
That's interesting.
It is important. Looking at the background of where people come from, we come from different backgrounds, and it also helps us to unite with each other.
Yes.
So it is more one thing that we should consider. Yes, it is very, very important.
I think if you have a diverse group of people in your workspace, it offers us the opportunity to be educated about each other, right?
Yes,
Because
true.
if all of us are too comfortable or aren't exposed, we'll all kind of have this group mentality. So it offers, number one, the opportunity to be educated. Number two, the opportunity to be compassionate.
Yes.
Because not everything is going to make us happy. So if like she's coming to us in the office, and someone's like, what is that funny smell? You know, and it's the opportunity for someone to unpack, no, impepo is used for this, and you would never have that conversation if you were comfortable or in your one little corner, but now you are opened up to another world.
My sister works as a police officer, so she's a sangoma as well. So sometimes she'll be like in situations where she'll be like dreaming, wearing what she was given by the underground gang. So she's told that she must wear it at the workplace. But since she's a police officer, how is she gonna run after thugs if she's wearing all those things, amahiya, intimbi and stuff? And it's also unprofessional because she's in the parliament offices. So she has like to be professional and show up as a policewoman, not as a sangoma. So I don't think there is much space to be culturally comfortable and confident in workspace.
So I think the more and more we interact with people who are different, who make us feel uncomfortable, is so many more opportunities for us to be educated.
and like differences also, like people come with different strengths, things that you may not see as a strength. You see somebody else comes and brings it on, they teach you that, you end up learning about other people, other cultures, other perspectives, and that ends up growing you as a person, not only like within your workspace or professionally, but also just it makes you well-rounded overall as a person. Yeah.
The HR hiring and recruitment process, as I know it, gives everyone a fair chance. If you agree, put your hand up.
Well, mine does. My industry. I don't know about you.
I'm like in between, because as of current, yes, but from previous experience, no.
Hi, I'm Nicole Watson. I am years old. I am a public relations communication strategist.
I think that's why everyone had to sit with that, because from company to company, it's not all the same.
It varies.
I don't think that necessarily in a law firm you're allowed to be colorful. I don't necessarily think in a lot of corporate South Africa you're allowed to express yourself as we do. visually, as well as, coming through as your original authentic self. They're like, no, what are you doing? We need to see clients. So I think, that's why we took so long with that, is because there are instances in this current day and age where you have to tuck it in and be tidy. Tidy.
But also, I think that South Africa has become, like, over the years, has become more, diverse and more, like,
Conscious.
yes, conscious. But as much as it has become more of that, I think we still need, like, more women and more women and more, like, more people living with disabilities in some various roles.
And then I think about like especially after COVID, and that like people became a lot less structured when it came to how you present yourself. It became less formal and more like authentic, I feel.
As well, we should consider checking the industries, that the departments rather, that we're working on. My name is Dieketseng Mputi, and I am 22 years of age, currently doing my practicals in electrical engineering at Tshwane University of Technology. I'm specializing in power, heavy current. We can all agree that not everyone works the same jobs, and we're doing different things, and it is important for everyone who does their job to do their job. So we check onto that as well. Whenever we in the issue of the HR,
I'm free to be myself culturally at work.
I can say I'm free to myself at work.
Hi, my name is Yomelela Lolwana. In early 20s. I'm a 9 to 5 as an admin intern.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I wear. At work, we don't have like, I'd say a uniform or a specific thing to wear. We're just free. We're just free, yeah.
You said an important thing. Post-COVID, people became more authentic. And I think now more than anything, we are showing up as we are. And, if we are, as you are saying, doing the job, the other stuff doesn't matter.
Yes.
Or shouldn't matter.
Yes.
I can have 10 piercings in the front of my face, but if I'm good, I'm good.
Yes.
And I think the red flag or card is if that becomes an issue. But going back to something you said, what if I'm so good at my job and me being authentic to myself culturally and from my background means that I can only speak Xhosa or Isulu?
That's the most important one. Immediately, whenever you apply for a post, you should read whatever that it says. If they say that at least an applicant should know how to speak English. So that means they're saying that there are different people. Because if I come and speak, I'm Sotho. So if I come and speak Sotho, she doesn't know Sotho. So you see that if they pair us as a team, it's going to be a conflict. It's going to be a chaos. So it is important as well to check on the description of whatever that is needed. Hence, I say that meet the requirements that they want from you.
But we all know that the basic standard requirement is English.
Yes.
So does it mean that I'm keepy if I don't speak? And I also understand that that is the benchmark. But I'm just saying, if we are talking about cultural diversity, and I'm being authentic to myself, and I am a mathematician genius, but I just don't speak English.
Yeah, that becomes difficult, but you don't meet the requirements. The requirements are the requirements. So irregardless that you should be more of you are allowed to be free in your culture, but you should also consider, because of they're at work, at some point we're there to do
100%
to do the work, right? They're not considering honestly in honest situations, like they don't consider your cultures or what. So but at the end of the day, the job should be done, and you cannot come to me speaking in French. I don't know.
I think it would be a good idea to hire based off, I don't remember exactly what you call it, but basically where you look at it's called like blind something, but you look at the people's experience, everything, but you don't look at their gender, their race. You don't blind screening, I think. And you just look at whether they are suitable for the job, not based on like racial bias or where they're from or anything, what gender they are, anything like that. Just see if they've got the skills, do they fit the requirements, and then from there see it. So it takes away that thing of, oh, you know, she's pretty, we hired her. Oh, you know, she speaks nice, that's why we hired her.
And I'll speak for myself. My particular workplace, no. However, in the industry, it is so common.
Yes.
We live in landmines of unconscious bias, unconscious stereotypical languaging. Number one, as females. Number two, pertinent to our skin color or our background or how we sound. Because if I now talk like this and I'm from Aldo's, I switch the game up and it's like, ugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the unconscious bias or stereotypes that people, if I had my whole conversation like this, then what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah, and I agree with that also, like especially being woman, and like for me, like I've experienced it before where it's like, oh, you know, they don't take you seriously for whether you can be good at it, you can have skill, you can have talent, but they look at you and they're just like, oh, but she's a Muslim woman, you know, she's probably gonna get married and she's gonna leave a job and she's gonna start a family. And then they don't take you because they don't see you as potentially someone, yes, because they think, okay, she's working for now, but when she gets married, she's gonna stop, and then so let's just not take it on. So it is like, I have experienced that before where they're just like, okay, let's just not. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Everyone has an equal chance at career growth and development.
No, I disagree with that.
Actually, it can be debatable. It can be two sides, you know. I think it depends where you are located, where you find yourself, right? So if I say we got equal chances, we starting from, let's say, the rights, right? You'd be like, you have the right to education, we have equality, we have this. So that means they're giving us the exposure that the aim is to make all of you equal, right? Now we have things like NSFAS, whereby students can go study. The issue of money now, it's no longer a problem. So now it's about you, how you take yourself, how you approach things, right? So, and also, yes, it is a disadvantage to other people who can't get to information, especially those who are in rural areas. They are mostly affected because of the lack of information. And like right now we are having it easy. Actually, we have cell phones, we have
Data.
we have data, we have Wi-Fi. But people from rural areas, even though they have cell phones, they can be disadvantaged by network. You see those kind of things. So, but like it's a two-way thing.
I think it's layered. I think there's a reason that it's called systemic disadvantage and systemic. Yo, guys, it's in
Yes, a lot.
and just to try and bite that burger is like you can't, because exactly what you're touching on. All doors are open.
Yes.
How many of us can walk through those doors? How many of us can read the signs on the doors?
Yes.
How many of us can find the building to the door?
that's the thing, like the system is set up to be, yes, everything must be equal, but at the end of it, there's still a gap behind everything where people are not, people don't have access to the right education to know that, you know, we do have these opportunities that is there for you. It's just that bridge in gap where it's, people don't know that, you know, it's just.
And it's circumstantial. It's not that you asked to be born Emakaya and we are so fortunate to be here. And our parents did all of the things for us to all be here with lights and cameras and speaking Singisi. You know, but there's a very, very big
like a divide.
It's not even a divide, because a divide means that some people have chosen one side and opted for another. It's literally, it's such a big bridge on the other side where, you know, you look at your dream, but it's just like, how do I get there? And people are waking up making decisions between pads or bread, you know, this or that.
Yeah, and also in some instances, it also depends who do you know.
Like it depends who do you know in that industry. Like many people get like through connections in some departments, so it's just difficult.
I keep quiet to avoid conflict when I feel excluded or discriminated against in the workplace.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I've never been in that situation, but I think I would like keep quiet to avoid conflict, and then maybe find myself some time to talk to someone who like I'm comfortable with it, and then like voice out how I felt, how everything happened, instead of like dying inside.
I used to be like that. Like when I started working, I didn't want to rock the boat or anything. If I see something, I'll think about it, I'll sit with it, I'll go speak to someone that is safe with afterwards. But now I'm just like, if we don't align, if your values and my values don't align within the company or something, it's fine. I will, find somewhere where I do fit, because it's like, I feel like life is too short, and your professional life is too short to be a watered down version of yourself. You rather be the full saturated version, and they take it or they leave it. They accept it for what it is, and they see the value in it, or they don't, and then you're like sharp.
I think it is important in a workplace to have like an open space. What I mean about an open space is that things to be communicated, because of it avoids a lot of toxicity that's
Definitely.
gonna occur. So if then you can't speak up for yourself, then it's gonna add up, because of next time you'll be like, okay, that's how things are, and that's not how things should be. At the end of the day, we are there to work, we are there to do the right thing. So we should speak, okay, fine, you are hurting me, but it depends as well with the person that did you something, because there are people who can't like be like, I'm wrong, so there are people who can't accept what they did, they can't accept their failures, they always want to be right. Remember, we are different people, we are not we were not raised the same. So we come from different backgrounds, so it is important as well to check who did hurt you. Then you'd be like, oh, it's that one, fine. So it depends, actually.
I also think there's a level of having to check the emotion at the door, because I can't be so triggered by you if I'm concentrating on my bag and I need to feed my people and I'm here to do this thing. I think that there's the ability to disengage, because I really do not need your approval on anything if we do not see eye to eye. It's not that deep. I do think that getting tangled into those kinds of dynamics is so tricky. But I think for me, it's easy to disengage in that sense, because I'm not here for you.
I think that, we are seeing such a beautiful mix of beautiful people come through. And I think even in the new generations that are coming up, they are very, very astute about themselves, and just the caliber and the pride of showing up in your authenticity, number one, your cultural authenticity, number two, is very important. We are also seeing a increase in diversity in the LGBTQAI plus community, which is wonderful to see for me, and for everyone alike. It really is a testament to us showing up and making the old guard feel uncomfortable, which is one of my favorite things to do.
That's not what we're gonna do. So, and also holding your own space. So I'm able to have my own views. You can have your own view. And I can speak about it, but I don't need to enforce, and I don't need you to believe my view.
I celebrate Heritage Day.
Yes, but I do celebrate Heritage Day, but I won't lie, I don't go like all out and And to be honest, for me, it's like I braai with my family, we get dressed up sometimes, and it's chilled, but I don't really look too deep into it, which I know some people do, but personally, I don't.
I think we need to define Heritage Day. I think it's a day that has been named Heritage Day. I think do you go home on Heritage Day and everyone shoppers the cultural things at the house?
Not really.
Wena?
No.
Um,
No.
Isn't that the brief? And that's my point. That's my point. It's like it hasn't been defined to us. So we're celebrating South Africa's heritage of diversity and all of that great stuff. What does that mean?
Hence,
And it's not having a bride.
Yes.
It's not.
Hence, in such holidays, Heritage Day, it's to other people it's just a day off. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
To other people it's just a
Exactly.
day off, and of which it's wrong because of Heritage Day is a way of experiencing our cultures,
Yes.
to dwell more in our cultures, rather experience people's cultures, other people, cultures and everything, It is important maybe to take, to consider going maybe on events whereby they host this kind of things, whereby they cook different food and everything that can unite us,
Yes.
we can at least agree that I'm Zulu, I'm Sotho, I'm this, without being like Zulus are like this, because that's how the world that we are
The
living in.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's always the Zulus, it's Beddies, those kind of things. So we dwell comfortably on those,
Yeah.
And we forgot our cultures.
There's such a rich opportunity for us to actually dive deeper into Heritage Day, where we actually learn about each other, language, the food, as you are saying. And it's not just about having a good old braai. I think that we all fell into the day off culture where it's just like, yeah, we can. But I think if brands and different, organizations came together and really didn't take the piss about this day, and really made a strong case for each and every one of us and our diverse backgrounds, we do a good job.
Yes.
It's sitting in front of us, but we kind of skim over it, and it's like, it's cute, but we don't want to get into it. Don't need to, But there's a big opportunity. I mean, we should each speak 11 languages, and including sign.
I experience enough cross-cultural interactions on a day-to-day at work.
I do.
No, I'm sure you do.
I do. Like you meet a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You exposed to different people, exposed to different cultures, like within the workspace, like not only like with like Power Africa, but like with other clients as well. A lot of the people are not even, they're African, but they're not South African. And that's like refreshing because you get to see like new perspectives and, you learn a lot. So yeah, I do think,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. There's so much more to be done for me, I think. I think you also have to throw yourself out there to be curious, to see it. Because it's not going to take you sitting in a little cubicle and a box and then it's going to come to you and you're going to be learning about everything so much. No, you have to put yourself in positions that make you uncomfortable, that are different. Go to my mind. Go somewhere else.
We should learn to respect each other's cultures. So, and learn, actually, try and learn, because of, rather than being entitled that, okay, of course, everyone should know this language, everyone should do that. So you expect another person who's speaking like this now to speak your language, but you can't speak their language. So it should be a meet me halfway.
I know, that's the context.
So it's like that, as well as you spoke about our African brothers as well, they shouldn't feel like excluded in a way whereby we should be like, nah, they not part of us. What? Let's just try and learn the cultures. It means a lot to you. It might not mean anything, but you trying to ask, hey, what is how are you in your language? It means something to someone.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the big thing you said about respect, I can only know how to respect you if I go and interact with you.
Yes.
I can't learn that form of respect. I could bow to you and you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's only once you have spent enough time with people respectfully, that you can show that love and grow yourself,
Yeah.
you know.